Hello and welcome to my video on how to make shit glow, aka emissive materials. So, emissive materials are how you make things glow, and I'm going to walk you through that. Sometimes I feel like I don't have enough time to cover that in my lighting portion, my lighting class. Sometimes I get carried away and I do it, but just in case you want to know how to make things glow, I'm going to go over that right now. So what I did is I opened the fridge door a little bit. I just kind of propped that open a little. And what I'm going to do now is go ahead and create a new game object. Actually, yeah, let's do that first. Okay, great. Game object, 3D object cube. And I'm going to just squash it, elongate it, squash it, and and I've also I've turned my lighting way back down again to 5, just to get it back on track for quicker bakes, for testing purposes. But I'm basically gonna line this cube up inside the door here, and I didn't open the door all the way on purpose, for the sake of the fact that I didn't model the inside of the fridge. So since I didn't model the inside of the fridge, I just want had to have a glow sneaking out from the cracked open fridge. And then this object here is going to be the glowing object. So what I need to do is go ahead and right click in my materials folder, right click, create material, and I'm going to call it fridge glow. This what I'm doing right now is basically a cheat, right by the way. I'll explain that more in a minute. But so I got fridge glow. I'm gonna drag this onto the cube I just made. The cube itself I should probably also label. Let's see, where is it? There it is. Cube 2. Should probably label it. Rename it to fridge glow cube. Okay, so I got the fridge glow on the fridge glow cube. The fridge glow material. Now I need to go into the inspector panel, and for this to glow, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and change the color. Just make this kind of easier to understand and read. So I'm going to go with a kind of a light blue color. And then what I'm going to do now is this is the key. This is what makes things glow, is right here, this emission channel. And there's a couple things I need to take into account though. First of all, to make it glow, I have to choose the color to make it glow with. So this is the color it will glow. And as soon as I even do that, it should start glowing. The only thing is, if you remember from our lighting video, with WebGL, if you're going to build a WebGL build, you cannot use real-time. You can't use real-time global illumination. It doesn't work. So change that to baked. And as soon as I do that, oh, and I also, see, I know there's so many variables. I also need to go onto the cube itself. I have to select the cube and mark the cube as static. Otherwise, it doesn't know to bake it. But as soon as I do that, I've got, again, the cube marked static. I've got this color actually doesn't really matter much, to be honest. I didn't have to change that color because you're never going to see this anyways. But it really comes down to this: making sure you have emission, you have some sort of color here, and then you've got global illumination set to baked. That will emit. It will glow that color now. Now, if you want to brighten it, if you want it to glow that color, but it's just not glowing very brightly, you can intensify the glow here by changing this number. This is like basically a this number here basically is like a multiplier of how bright it'll glow. So again, as long as you make sure you have all those things set, it should now emit light. It should glow and contribute light to the scene, which is again super cool, and it ends up looking really neat, which you will see in a minute. And there you see it glowing now. So you've got the fridge basically emitting a bluish glow. And that's pretty fun. I think that comes out pretty nice. It adds a little bit of character to the scene. And you can, again, adjust the brightness of the glow here. it would help, if I turn down the brightness of this overhead light, then the blue refrigerator glow would be a little bit more obvious. But there you go. So again, I've turned down the resolution for the moment, so the shadows are still a little blotchy. But I can always turn that back up. Now that's the quick and dirty way. And I will also show you another way, the proper way to use this channel. I don't know about proper. This works just fine. This is a quick and dirty cheat, but it gets the job done. And if it looks good, that's all that matters. But the way you can use this, I guess, more elaborately to do something more advanced is to use the mapping channel. So I'll show you that. It's going to require some Photoshop and some UVs, and what I was thinking is I'll show you how to do that with the microwave. Okay, so now for the fancier stuff, you see I've added some texture. I UV mapped this microwave, and I added a little bit of texture, just enough to really kind of illustrate the point. I didn't really spend much time on it, but point being, now we can. I've got this microwave material. Okay. Anyways, so I've got a microwave material on the microwave and then a door material on the door. But I put a little bit of texture, and now it's not glowing yet. To make it glow, what I'm going to need to do is, in this case, I don't want to tint this, because that's going to look terrible. Obviously, we don't want that. So instead of doing that, all I want to glow is the numbers up there. So what you'll see is, if I go back to my Photoshop document for my textures, here's my UVs, and I literally took a photo of my own microwave and then started painting out some of the reflection of myself and so forth, just really messily and hurriedly. Anyways, but that's what that is. So here's the UVs for the microwave. And I intentionally made the display panel of the microwave way bigger, so it is a different resolution now than the rest of it, because I figured a lot of that microwave is being hidden from view, being kind of tucked away in the shelving and so forth, and I don't really need resolution on that, and mostly it's just solid color. Anyways, I made the panel big. But if you look at the panel, this is for the color map, right? Now, what I can do is I can keep my Photoshop document broken out into its layers, and then I can create new layers for other types of maps. Like, for instance, if I create a new layer, actually, no, let me, instead of creating a new layer, actually, what I should do is just duplicate this layer. So I'm just dragging this layer to make a copy of it. And what I'm going to call this one is emissive layer. And then what I can do is hide the other stuff. And you see what I did with the masking there. But I can hide the other stuff and literally just go in here and mask out only what I need, and only what I need is this area here. Now, it would be better to paint this from scratch. Create this whole layout, all this stuff from scratch. I don't know if it'd be better, but it would definitely probably be clearer. Because I just snapped a quick photo with my cell phone, so you could definitely get better results from hand creating this. Anyways, but what I'm going to do now is use the marquee selection tool to just grab this, and I'm going to then use the masking tool to do that. So now with emissive materials, the situation is anything that is black is not going to glow. It's going to do nothing, right? So at this point now, this entire area is glowing. If I output this image as my emissive map, this would glow and emit that light. It would get some of this orange light, and it would get green light. I don't really want that. I could leave a little bit of that in there, and I may. I could try it different ways. But what I really want is this glowing area here. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and adjust my mask. So I've got, again, the thumbnail and then the mask thumbnail. So with the mask, I'm going to go in with my brush and just start washing out this. So I'm kind of cleaning up the mask to get it tighter on those numbers there. So I'll shrink my brush a little bit. Basically, I just want to get it kind of up in there to where the green is really what's glowing. Zoom in a little. Oops. There we go. As the cat shreds the couch. So just kind of really quickly trying to blast this out. There's a lot of Photoshop tricks I could probably do to speed up the mask painting process. Some selection tricks and so forth, but I'm just kind of in a hurry trying to get you guys on track to do as much cool stuff as possible as fast as I can. So, and because this is a little bit messy, it probably will glow a little bit orange around there. Tighten my brush up a little bit. Probably would have been easier just to do a select by color and select the the numbers with the green and then invert my selection. Coulda, but whatever. Sometimes this is fun too. And I noticed that this is still pretty visible. Keeping my, you notice I've got my flow down as well, so just trying to let it build up a little bit of paint. And get it just about, more careful with that. Just kind of cleaning up some of this mask. Almost good enough, I guess. It's always a struggle as an artist to let things be when you know, like, oh wait, let me just get a little bit more clean, a little bit nicer. It's kind of the whole obsessive compulsive thing, right? Okay. The PM. I guess, actually, you know what time I took the photo. Haha, that's funny. Didn't even occur to me to think about what time it was when I took that photo. Okay. Cool. Let's call that good enough. Now, this is now the emissive map. So what I'm going to do now is just save it out as a separate file from my color map. So I'll just zoom out. So look, this literally is the emissive map. This glows, nothing else glows. And that kind of layers into the material. So if I do a save as, let's see, put it in my other bigger monitors so I can see it better. I'm going to save this as a, let's see, Targa. I could probably do JPEG, but I'm just going to go ahead and do Targa because those have alpha channels. And I don't think I need an alpha channel, but just in case I do at some point, this will be better. Unity projects. So then I'm just navigating now to my material or project lighting tutorial, assets, materials. Okay, so yeah, I've got this microwave UV.targa. what I'm going to do is call this microwave emissive. Microwave emissive. And I'm just saving that right in with the other materials that are in there already. And now here it is. It pops up right here. This is the microwave emissive. This is my microwave material. Now all I got to do is drag this emissive into the mapping channel for this, right? Now what that's going to do is it's going to overlay, of course, the texture, but this should now glow and emit light into the scene. In fact, it'd probably be best if I turn off or turn down this light. Let me turn the intensity of this one way down, because turning this one way down is going to make the glowing stuff a little more apparent. Oh, and I should, you know what I should do too? This is fine. This is fine. But I should also kind of boost it a bit just to make it a little more fun. Oh, and I have to. Oh, I almost forgot. I have to also switch it to baked. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And I can boost it a bit here. And you see immediately, as soon as I boosted it, it brightens it right here. It's a lot more obvious when I brighten it there. So yeah, global emission baked, emission, cool. Now we've got the map hooked up, so that should now glow. And we will see as soon as the bake finishes. Okay, so it's glowing. It's not putting a lot of light out into the scene, but that kind of makes sense when you really think about it, because oh, you know what? Let me also turn up, make sure that on the lighting, this is turned up pretty high, and also turn on important GI. I want to turn on important GI on this because if it's going to have an emissive material and it's a really small little thing, it's some pretty small little numbers that have to glow. So I want to really make sure that it has decent resolution in the light map and it's marked as important GI so that it doesn't get, the compression doesn't kind of get rid of the glow. So those couple things should help. I also want to do the same for this as well. So let me turn this up and mark it as important GI. But we're starting to see definitely more of the fridge glow. Okay, now in order to really kind of highlight some of the glow stuff, I've turned off or down some of the other lights in the scene. So, and I've still got the resolution down pretty low just to keep it from taking forever. Now, really, the fridge looks pretty cool. Obviously, without with the exception of the blotchy shadows, but this is glowing. It's just that if this was going to emit enough light into the scene to, light anything up, to illuminate anything, basically the room would have to be super dark. It just can't compete, which makes sense. In reality, this is the truth. A microwave clock is not going to illuminate a scene. It really shouldn't. Actually, what might have been really cool is if I put some emissive materials on the inside. That's actually maybe what I should do. Like as if the I'd also have to put some transparency on the microwave door as well, which I don't have at the moment, but I am prepared to do. So maybe I'll do that at some point. For now, I think this is good enough. This is now glowing, and I showed you how to do that. We kind of cheated a bit by throwing a glowing cube into the refrigerator with it cracked open a bit. Yeah, so that's it. That's how to make shit glow. Again, it's all about the emissive materials, and I'm sure there's plenty of other tutorials out there. Don't forget, my tutorials are not the only tutorials. You're certainly welcome to watch mine, but the more information you can get, the better. So, study up, watch as many tutorials from as many people as you can, and Learn as much as you can. And that's it. That's for making shit glow. Again, I'll try to make a couple other videos for light probes and other stuff as soon as I can, but when I have time. Okay, see you around.